Good morning, everyone. This is Jacob Duffin returning to do my presentation on my paper for Systematic Theology 1 with Dr. Rosedal. My paper was about Oneness Pentecostalism and its relationship to Orthodox Trinitarian Christianity. In addition to this, I also discussed how we as Orthodox Trinitarian believers, in particular the student body of SAGU, should respond to these beliefs. First, I explored the importance of the belief in the Trinity throughout church history. I started by talking about how the early church fathers made a very clear point in their apologies to the Roman Empire and other people that challenged them in their era to keep the Trinity important and how they didn't want to contradict the Trinity. Then started on how talking about the Trinity was very important in the formation of creeds and against early church heresy. And then finally, I spent some time talking about the General Council of the Assemblies of God in 1916, when the Oneness Pentecostals were expelled from the Assemblies of God for their beliefs. Then I took some time to explain the importance of grace-based salvation, just to kind of revisit how that's extremely important, especially in our evangelical Pentecostal view. Then I explored the beliefs of the primary oneness denomination in the world, the United Pentecostal Church International. I would go through their beliefs and just see some of the things they believe, and I would refute them either using scripture, primary scripture, and church history were the two main things I used to refute them, especially noting the presence of the Trinity in creation, the eternity of Christ, as well as the atonement. Then, in exploring the UPCI's beliefs, I researched how many of their views are very legalistic, and that many of the views that they had were also not biblical. First, talking about how they believe that we should or should not do things that the Bible never says to do, as well as talking about how even if the Bible did teach those things, how legalistically they hold on to them would still be contrary to the idea of salvation through grace alone and not salvation through works. I then gave them some specific time to talk about one of the most dangerous parts of oneness legalism, their belief that speaking in tongues is required for us to be saved. I talk about how this is never seen in Scripture and is in fact actually contradicted in Scripture in a handful of places, and how in regards to church history, it wouldn't make sense for one because, people between the years about 300 and 1910, for the most part, there was very little speaking in tongues, and I personally do not believe that if God wanted us to speak in tongues in order to be saved, that he would damn about 1600 years worth of Christians to hell because of that. After discussing and refuting the beliefs of Oneness Pentecostalism, I took a bit of time to explain how I felt that it would be best for us as Christians and us as a student body at SAGU to respond. Of course, we are to respond in love and care as we are with all people. More specifically, I believe I would probably treat those who believe in Oneness Pentecostalism the same way I would treat a Mormon or Jehovah's Witness, in other words, not truly a part of the Church Catholic. And in regards to how I believe the student body of SAGU should handle it, I think that the main thing would be barring them from any form of leadership positions, as the spiritual state of a leader will influence the spiritual states of the organization that they are in leadership with. Thank you for this time. I hope that this presentation was educational and informative and edifying. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you very much.